Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our today's topic is love, limits, and resentment. Yes, I printed my notes today to make it a little bit easier for myself. I was like, hey, let's make it a little bit easy. So, sisters, how are you doing? Today's our Wednesday Wife Wisdoms. If you guys have any questions, you can inshallah ask in the end of the session, and we will go ahead and begin. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Today I have picked out a topic, love, limits, and resentment. Um, Goal here is to talk about how so many of us are in relationships wherein we have given, but we have given too much. Far too many people stay married for years while beneath the surface there are layers of resentment built. And oftentimes the resentment is on the woman's side. And many times, like you would hear brothers say, like, why can't she just let it go? Like enough is enough. This happened XYZ years ago. Why can't she just let it go? Or like the other thing that I have also heard that, oh, she does this, but then she holds it against me. And this is the time when like we women need to ask the question as to like, hmm, why did it go so far to the point that it began to hurt her? Why did we get here? How did we get here to the point that now she has this much resentment and nobody's asking that question? And resentment is not stubbornness. It is usually the pain that has been carried for very long because you just kept ignoring the signs that you needed to pay attention to. You kept giving without recognizing that you needed to stop. Now, yes, our faith, our religion is of Isar. We talk about selflessness, we talk about generosity, but to what extent, right? Our faith does not ask us to abandon ourselves in the process of loving other people. And in many cultures, especially I'm from Pakistan, our culture seems to define love as self-negation, as self-erosion, as in we have to totally abandon ourselves to prove to the other person that I love you. But that's not love. That's not. That's self-abandonment. We should be able to love people and hold our boundaries. We should be able to love people and respect ourselves. We should be able to love people, give to them, and know when giving is no longer healthy. And it hurts me to see that I've seen sisters who have sold their entire gold to do something for what the man wanted. I have seen sisters empty their pockets, like literally give a lot to their husbands under the name of love. And the man later on turns around and says it was your choice. Now, as hurtful those words can be, the man is speaking the truth, right? It is truth. It was her choice. And now we are not about to sit here and condemn the sister for the past. We are not about to sit there and make her feel guilty for the way she chose to love her husband. But we definitely have to take a pause and fix what needs to be fixed, whether it is her definition of love or her definition of marriage, or just the fact that, hey, why do you need somebody's love to the point that you would erase yourself just to receive a few parts of them? And those are some heavy questions to ask yourself. And maybe, if need be, get the help because I always say it helps you understand where all you really need support. Sometimes it's not that you cannot handle the subject at hand, It's just that you need somebody beside you to help you unpack it in a way that you don't go all over the place. So, with that said, the core principle that I want you all to take today is you can love someone and hold boundaries. It doesn't have to be either or. Loving someone does not mean losing yourself. Take this with you today, even if you don't take anything else. Just take this one thing. Loving someone does not have to mean to lose yourself. Love that requires self-erasure is not sustainable, and it is not what Allah asks of us. I'll repeat that. Love that requires self-erasure is not sustainable, and it is not what Allah asks of us. Many times, under the name of Islam, also, we seem to believe that a good wife is somebody who is like giving, 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 giving. And anytime she says, hold on, I can't do this, we automatically assume this is a bad wife. But no, she definitely learned how to say it though. I would say one thing, many times when we have these conversations, sisters go off the charts in terms of how they speak. You still have to be respectful. Holding your boundaries, knowing your limits does not mean you be disrespectful towards your partner. Men or women, we all should be able to say, I love you, but I cannot do this. I love you, but this is not going to be healthy for me. We should be able to say it. Now, I understand many use the Islamic concept of your husband's pleasure, right? And I'm not in any way undermining it. However, in many cases, husbands don't even use their authority or the fact that, hey, you have to obey me when they ask for these things. Sisters go out of their way to do these things. And then later on, they hold it against the man. And when I'm saying all these things, I'm not only speaking for the women, I'm speaking for the men too. There are brothers whose wives that they loved, but right now they don't know what to do with because the sister poured herself out to the brother in terms of doing things for him, helping him during his rough season of life and everything like that. But then she shoves it back in his face over and over again. And my suggestion to people is don't get to that point. If it wasn't working out for you, you shouldn't have done it. We choose to go out of our way. Then we can't punish the other person for that. It's not the husband's fault that his wife chose to go out of her way and do something for him, whether he requested or not. She had a choice. And today I want all of us to recognize, as heavy as the word choice feels, it is actually a word that should give you a sense of empowerment. When I say you have choice, it doesn't mean that only you have like obligation and the weight of it. For many people, the word choice means you have weight of it or burden of it or obligation of it. But it's also the freedom. You have the freedom to say no. You have the freedom to say, hey, I want to do it differently. You have the freedom to say, actually, I don't want to do it at all. And you will only feel that freedom if you recognize that you have choice. So, with all of that said, I want us to get into our practical steps today. I have three as usual. The first one is identify the resentment. Write down the areas in your relationship where resentment has accumulated, the unspoken sacrifices, the unmet expectations, which are killers of the relationships, by the way, and emotional overload. Many, many times, it's not that the men are not willing to be there for their wives or like take the burden off or make it easy for her. Sometimes it's just that sisters have so much built in now that they're not even bringing it up to the man in a healthy way. So it's important to write down, make a list wherein you can tell yourself, you can see for yourself where all you have areas where you have neglected yourself. It can look like you agreed for a trip that you didn't want to do in that moment. It can look like you ignoring something that you needed for yourself or the family, but you accommodated your partner. Now, I'm not saying that that list is supposed to, be used against your partner. No, this list is only for you to evaluate yourself and evaluate your relationship as to where all you have unspoken sacrifices, you have unmet expectations, and you have emotional overload. List all those things down so you know where all your resentment is. Okay, that's practical step number one. Number two, acknowledge that you chose all of those things. Okay, in this moment, I want you guys to focus on the past. Whatever has happened so far, you chose it. When you said yes, you chose it. When you remained silent, you chose it. And as triggering as it can be, but in many, many cases, even if somebody was physically abusing you to get something done, you chose to stay there. And it's a heavy topic. I personally am a victim of domestic violence. I am aware that in that moment, you feel like you don't have any choice. But reality is, we all have choice. We choose to stay in those situations because of our own lack of belief in ourselves and our lack of belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'm saying this with full understanding of what I'm saying because I was there once. So I know. But me saying or trying to sugarcoat things is not going to help anybody. So I have to be honest that yes, we have choice. And when we say yes to something, we have to acknowledge that I said yes for it. I chose it. And as you look through the past, you look at the past, pray to Allah to reward you for all the things that you gave into your relationship, all the ways that you sacrificed yourself, all the ways you truly felt that you were loving the other person, even if that meant you were abandoning yourself. Expect from Allah reward for that. Make dua for yourself and pray to Allah that Allah accepts all of it and let it go. Let it go. As heavy as it may feel like, just let it go. Whatever you did for him, you did for the marriage, to protect your marriage, to save your marriage. Just put it all, take it away from your shoulders, take it from your head, take it all out. Put it in a visual bag and give it to Allah. Ya Allah, I did it for your sake. I did it for my marriage because I thought that's the way it would be pleasing to you. I tried to protect my marriage. I tried to protect this relationship because I wanted to see closeness to you and just give it to Allah. The third, redefine the future. Okay, so the first was identify the resentment, write down all the areas where you have resentment built in your relationship, in your marriage. Number two, acknowledge your agency, make dua for the past, recognize you had a choice, and just give it all to Allah. Number third, redefine the future. Yes, you can change things. Just because you were like that before a few minutes ago doesn't mean you have to be like that after a few minutes. Just because that's how you did your relationship in the past doesn't mean you have to do it moving forward. You can change it, but for that, you have to take the decision. Nobody else will do it for you. You have to do it. I can give you 100 sessions on this thing, but if you don't take the decision, I can't do anything for you. You can sign up as a 1 year client with me, but if you choose to not take a decision, I cannot do anything for you. I can't. That's something you have to do. You have to decide that yes, what I have been doing is not serving my marriage. What I have been doing is actually not helping my marriage. What I have been doing is actually hurting me. You have to see it for what it is, and then you have to choose to decide differently. And the beautiful thing about decisions is you can make a new one, right? As I always say. So decide what you are able to and willing. Just because you're able to do something doesn't mean you're willing. Just because I can host somebody in my house doesn't mean I'm willing to. It doesn't have to be like just because you're able to, you have to. No. You have to look into what all you're willing to do moving forward. Let your future choices come from clarity, not guilt or fear. Now, this is something that a lot of sisters feel guilt for what may have happened in the past or the mistakes they may have made, and they try to overcompensate by going out of the way, even if it hurts them, just to prove to their partner that they are worth keeping. And I always say, if I have to convince my partner that I'm worth keeping, what's the point? What's the point? Both people have to equally, willingly, lovingly, genuinely, sincerely put work in the relationship. Sometimes one has to put more, but it should never be me proving to anybody that I'm worth keeping. If I have to prove my worth to be in a marriage to my own husband, the marriage is already that's the reality. But can people put in work and change things? Yes. But going back, you have to decide how much work you're willing to put in there. So far, do we have any questions? I am not gonna wait too long for the questions because these are the recordings that have to go. So if you don't have questions, then drop a no. If you have a question, then just drop the question in the Q&A section. Do you guys have a question? If the answer is yes, then give me the question. If the answer is no, then just drop no so I know that there's no questions and I can move forward. No, okay. Alhamdulillah. Anybody else? Not yet. Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay. So the mindset shift today that I want you all to take is go from I give all of me to I give to the best of my ability for the sake of Allah. We don't have to give all of us. We only have to give as much as we are willing to, we can, for the sake of Allah. This is a very important part there because whatever we do in the relationship, yes, we are maybe helping our partner, favoring our partner, letting go of some things because it accommodates our partner, but it all should be for the sake of Allah. It should not be for His sake, it should be for the sake of Allah. And I think this is the reason many times the resentment is built the way it is built for many people, is because as we do those things, we are not really focused on Allah part. We are focused on the dunya we love. We are focused on the love that we have for this person. We are removing Allah from the equation because let's just say I did everything for you, right? But if I did it for Allah's sake, even if you did not reciprocate, I would not be pissed because I didn't do it for your sake. Yeah, I may move differently afterwards because I recognized how things are going and it's not working out for me. I may move differently. Just because I did it for the sake of Allah in one point doesn't mean I'm going to continue to do it if I see that it's not working out for me anymore, right? You can choose that. But we have to do it for the sake of Allah and Allah only. But so many times we get diverted from that. And then we end up in situations wherein we are practically creating a credit in our relationship, and later on we show up asking for repayment with interest. And the other person is like, I didn't even know there was any credit being built. So this shift is very important that you don't have to give all of you. You have to give what you want to, what you can, And even when you do that, you have to do it for the sake of Allah. To wrap it all up, recognize that resentment doesn't come in one day. Whatever frustrations you have, they didn't just come in one day. They came over time. So the process of unpacking it all can take a little bit of time, and that's okay. But as you go through that process, you have to choose to go differently. Don't take those resentments to Him. Don't take those frustrations to Him. Give it to Allah and expect the reward from Him. But moving forward, move in a way that you don't build any resentment. Don't give Him your savings account if later on you're going to be pissed about it. Don't. Only give what you can for the sake of Allah. Or another point that I want to highlight here, even when you're in marriage, okay, this person is a Muslim brother or sister in Islam for you, right? If you guys are giving your money or you're doing something like that, be willing to say, hey, can we write a contract on that? If I'm giving my money to you as a loan, are you willing to write a contract? And if it's too much, then you have some things to unpack because ultimately a woman's money is hers. And if she's choosing to give it to her husband and it's not sadaqah in that moment, it's a loan, then are you willing to write a contract? Because guess what? If you get divorced tomorrow, then what? Whose money was it really? So just this is one example. But we shouldn't really abandon the fact that there are Islamic rules that apply to these things that we choose to not practice under the name of love and marriage. And then later on, we come up and we say, hey, there's this whole problem in front of me. But all of that problem shouldn't even have existed if we just followed the Islamic principles. So, anyway, I went in a tangent coming back. The goal here is not that people become self centered or selfish. That's not what I'm saying. I'm most definitely not saying that you don't obey your husband. I'm most definitely not saying that you be a disobedient wife. But what I'm saying is know your limitations, learn how to communicate them, be willing to say, this is how far I can go without it hurting me mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Yes, your in-laws want to come and live with you for next 6 months, okay? But can you deal with it? Can you deal with it for the sake of Allah without holding it against your partner? If the answer is no, then you gotta figure it out. Then you gotta talk to the man that, hey, I love you a lot. It's really not gonna work out. Now, if he's using different things and tactics, then you have to, whenever, if you choose to say yes, you have to acknowledge you chose to say yes. You can't turn around and say, oh, he gave me silent treatment, that's why I agreed, or oh, he did XYZ, but ultimately you chose. Those things then require us to dig even deeper and further that if a man is using all these tactics to blackmail his wife, with all due respect, then why is the wife tolerating it? Because it's not a healthy relationship, right? At any point, somebody is giving you silent treatment. If anybody, and mind you, I'm not saying silent treatment means like one day of not talking, I'm talking weeks, months, years, people don't talk in marriage, subhanAllah. Or somebody is putting their hands on you, or somebody is financially abusing you and manipulating you. Why are you tolerating it? We can't just blame other people. We have to look within. Why is my self okay in being treated like that? So that goes in a whole total digging deep in the relationship. But in the present moment, I just want you guys to recognize that we all, women, are allowed to take a pause. We are allowed to redefine how we give. We are most certainly allowed to love while setting the boundaries. We don't have to love in a way that we start wondering, where did I go? So, with all of that, a few key teaching points that I want to leave you all with. Number one, Wait. We're not doing that. Okay. We're not doing that. Number one. Sorry, she was dropping things. Number one, resentment often stems from overgiving without boundaries, not from a lack of love. Many people love each other. I spoke to a couple some time ago, and I told the brother and I told the wife, you both love each other. You just got some things to unpack, but you guys love each other, and I can see that. So, yeah, resentment often stems from overgiving without boundaries. Number two, love and limits can coexist. Boundaries do not negate devotion. Remember that part. I know in the modern social media situation, boundaries word is being overused. So I definitely want us to be careful as we use that. And we definitely are not a community that abandons other people under the name of self-love and self-care. But relationships require healthy boundaries. I will read your question in a bit, sister, after I've done this. Number three, you choose to give, seek Allah's reward, and release the past. You chose to give, okay? Recognize that. Faith encourages generosity, not self harm. Yes, not self harm. Self awareness is essential for long term relationships. SubhanAllah, this is something I tell sisters, especially the ones that are trying to get married right now. That, mama, the best thing you can do is learn about yourself. You don't even need to learn about the other person as much as you need to learn about yourself. But so many people are focused on learning about the other person. I'm like, no, focus on yourself, because when you know yourself, you know how to get in relationships, what to tolerate, what not to tolerate. Like for me personally, I'm zero tolerance with disrespect. I am zero tolerance with confusion. I have high um maintenance, as I call it. I'm high maintenance when it comes to time and emotional energy. I'm a low maintenance when it comes to a lot of dunyavi things. So people have to know themselves, is my point here. Shift your intention from I give everything to I give what I can, sincerity for Allah. And I say this to, like, I have had people ask me with regards to consult me with regards to giving loans and stuff. And I always tell people, listen, if you're not writing a contract down and you don't want to do that, then just recognize that whatever you're giving, ask yourself, will you be able to let it go for the sake of Allah if this person didn't return you? If the answer is no, then don't give it. Give as much as you can. Like if somebody asked you for 1,000, but if you gave them 1,000 and they didn't return it, tomorrow you're gonna be saying bad things about them. You're gonna hate on them. You will have horrible thoughts about your Muslim brother in your heart. Please don't give that much. Now, can you give them 500 without, and if God, like, let's just say they never return and you would not have any negativity about them, go ahead and give 500. Now, I know many people might question that thought process, but I truly believe as Muslims, we should not have negative thoughts about other Muslims. Period. I don't care if it's your brother, sister, mother, husband, wife. As Muslims, we should strive not to have negative thoughts. And sometimes we try to do over good at the expense of the entire relationship. Don't give your sister that $2,000 after which you're going to hate on her. Don't do that. Give her as much as you can while still loving her and keeping her honor intact in front of dunya and your heart. Another one is healthy love preserves identity. Losing yourself is not loyalty. And I pray our Desi community can change this. Whether it be mothers or sisters or wives, we don't have to lose ourselves to be able to prove to people that we love them. People should love us enough that they don't want us to lose our identity. Now, I'm not saying that a sister who's a homemaker is losing her identity. No, that's not what I'm saying. Sometimes sisters who are homemakers have actually more solid identity within themselves. They can speak for themselves. They can tell you how to treat them and not to treat them. They can set boundaries in a healthy way. Identity isn't about how many people know you. Identity is about how you are in relationships and how you can speak for yourself. Last one in key teaching points, and I hope you guys take notes. The future can be redesigned with clear expectation, stronger boundaries, and renewed intentions. I'll say that again. The future can be redesigned with clearer expectations, stronger boundaries, and renewed intentions. Life can change when we choose to change it. And with that, I'm done. Alhamdulillah for today. I will go ahead and read the questions and answer to the best of my ability. Okay. First question. By the way, I don't say you guys' name out here, so you don't really need to be anonymous. You can come with your name and I will still not say your name. Sometimes we bottle things up, but because the other person is not feasible, something like standing up for not being treated a certain way would equal divorce talks, and so you don't want escalation. So the resentments, but is there truly a way out? I will read that again because I think that's the case for many people. Sometimes we bottle things up because the other option is not feasible. Something like standing up for not being treated a certain way would equal divorce talks, and so you don't want escalation. So the resentment builds, but is there truly a way out? Number one, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. There's always a way out. There's always a way out. I truly believe there is always a way out. Allah is a merciful Lord. Okay. Marriage is a place of mawadda wa rahmah. Marriage is not a prison. Marriage is not a prison. Marriage has a role to play in our lives, but it's not like we cannot live without a marriage. Mind you, I'm not promoting divorce here, but I'm trying to put things in perspective. Um, so yeah, there's always a way out. Now, as far as uh escalation and the other option not being feasible, people have to be willing to identify that there are two people in the relationship, not just one person. And if somebody respectfully, in an emotionally regulated way, at the right time, in the right manner, is expressing their needs, and that automatically leads to divorce talks, that's not a good sign, because we should be able to talk about what hurts me, what hurts you, what I need, what you need. And if we are not able to have that conversation, it's just about how long can we have this dynamic wherein I cannot speak my truth to you. Now, mind you, the whole idea of my truth often goes left in the current society and people are going all over the place. And we have to remember that our truth has to be in alignment with what Allah has taught us. So, with all of that said, both parties have to respect each other's presence in the relationship. I truly think that if we can't talk about our needs and wants, it's just a matter of time as to when the other person will explode, because they're about to explode. It's going to happen. It's just about 1 year, 2 year, 10 years, 20 years. We are seeing people who are getting divorced after 20, 30 years of their marriage, because a time is coming when the man or the woman is saying enough is enough. So, yeah, in a healthy relationship, both people exist, not just one person. So, I think that's all I can say. If you have any thing else, then let me know. So I will read the next question. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I think it is beneficial for a couple to express to each other what we can do to make each other happy. But husband says me expressing my needs is showing ungrateful towards him. He doesn't understand why my needs and expectations haven't changed or have he doesn't understand why my needs and expectations have changed over the years. So I don't know, because you didn't even post your name, so I really don't know who I'm talking to right now, which which gives me a little bit of like, I really don't know who I'm talking to. Next time, I would really advise you guys to, especially those that are regular attendees, please try to write your name so I kind of have an idea of who I'm talking to. Over time, I will um, know better, right? But here, what I would say is, I think it's a common complaint men have, wherein they feel that their wives are not grateful anytime their wives express their needs and wants. Now, remember, it has to, as I said, respectful words, nice tone, all of these things matter. You can either, so in coaching, one of the things we do is we don't, I don't tell my clients to go and talk to their husbands, okay? We we start off with reframing how you think about him. So, what does that mean? That means you acknowledging in all the areas in your life wherein he is taking care of you, where is he is available for your needs and expectations are being fulfilled. You see that, okay? We go through that process. And once you see all of that, then you have better appreciation for him. And once you have built up that appreciation in your heart for him over time, then when you talk to him, it may be the same words, the tone is different. The energy is different because now you don't see him as a man who didn't show up for you. Rather, you see him as a man who is trying his best to show up for you. So your choice of words may even change. Your body language may change. So yeah, I truly think that we have to, before we get into some conversations, we have to change how we think about our partners as well. Because not all men are bad, not all women are bad. Everybody's trying their best, and we have to recognize where people are doing their best. Because if I'm giving my everything, but you still just keep on saying that you are not getting what you want, I feel like anything I gave to you, you didn't see it. So when you come to me, you have to start with gratitude. You have to acknowledge what all you already see me doing, because people give more where they see that they are being appreciated. It's natural. So I hope that helps. uh Now the others, shh, my cat is scratching my, ouch, sorry. So I think, okay, by the way, if anybody's question hasn't been answered, let me know. I think I have answered the previous two questions. Now I'll go ahead with whatever is going on, inshallah. Anybody who wants to leave can leave. Okay, so this sister saying, I have heard many women who are struggling with their husbands, but when confronted with divorce, the husbands don't show any care for fighting for the wife, because you said that if they don't find value in you, then what's the point, or something similar. I'm finding from many stories that many men either don't see a problem or don't want to change, but the wife is willing to change and seek help, but man won't. So the wife is in a place of choosing to stay with this person or divorce. See, from a coaching perspective, we always say one person can bring the change in the relationship. When you start changing, the relationships start changing. But will it change 100%? Wallah alam. Are all men not willing to change? No. There are some men who are willing to change and their wives are not willing to change. So there are men and women who are not willing to change, and there are men and women who are willing to change and put in the work. Ideally, both people should be willing to put in the work. Um, but individually, we all should be willing to change what we can change. That is ourselves, regardless of marriage. If you are struggling in your marriage, I'm not saying you as a new sister, but anybody who is struggling in their marriage, for a fact, it's bothering them. So resolve it for yourself. And as you resolve and you go through that journey, you yourself will get clarity that do you want to continue to pursue this relationship or do you want to get out of it? And I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but not every marriage is worth staying in. Sahaba took divorce. They gave divorce. If it was something that was to be looked down upon, they wouldn't have done it. Again, I'm not promoting divorce, but I'm just saying that we have to be practical about these things. It's not something to be emotional about, rather to be practical about. There can be two amazing people, two beautiful servants of Allah who are amazing people, but they're not compatible. They're not compatible. And when you put them both together, they both are hurting each other. Am I saying go get divorced? No. I'm saying go get the coaching, get the help that you need, figure out why this relationship and these parts of your relationship hurting you so much. I posted a video recently on my social media about how so many sisters are struggling with no. And the point of that video was to express that many times it's not that, it's just how we perceived it. And I can assure you, in many cases, I have seen that brothers are not saying anything wrong. They are just speaking in a manly way. Okay? Men talk differently than women can. And somewhere in our dynamics in Muslim community, we have lost the gap. We have lost the bridge, as in women don't really understand how men speak. If a man is talking to you as a matter of fact and saying to you something as a monotonous thing, he doesn't mean anything bad. He's not supposed to be sweet talking you all the time. However, women can take it very as though he was being very aggressive, because women are not necessarily used to of being around shuyukh like that, or being around brothers who are like, stern and this is what it is. So we have to learn that, hey, it's possible that the other person is not wrong. Maybe I'm not reading it properly. And that's where the coaching actually helps people, that they can figure out that is it really that my partner is the problem? Or am I seeing it differently because of how I read it? Example of that, this paper is white, okay? However, if I was wearing red glasses, this would look red. The paper is still white, but I'm reading it as red. Why? Because of my glasses. And that's what happens when we have our past things tinting our whole image. And currently, that's the biggest problem a lot of marriages are going through. People are bringing their things in the marriage without the self awareness. I hope that answered your question there. If it didn't, say it again. Hopefully, I'll catch what I've missed. But divorce is not an option. They are contemplating because of the stigma or no finances. They are able to divorce but not willing. I think open communication is unfortunately too idealistic. With Muslim men, half the women would be in divorce if women tried to set boundaries or have communications and feelings. Men just don't get it. No, I actually disagree with that. I really disagree with a lot of it. Yes, there are many people who are able to divorce but are not willing to because of finances or stigma. I'm aware of that and I agree with that. Uh, I think open communication is unfortunately too idealistic with Muslim men. No, I have spoken to some Muslim men who are so outright and blunt that I don't think many women can have communication with them in a manner that they would achieve clarity in their relationship. Half the women would be in divorce if women try to set boundaries or have communications around feelings. I don't think so. Feelings, yes, feelings is a topic that so we have to remove the Muslim part from there. We have to remember the part of cultural backgrounds. And many of us came from different cultural backgrounds wherein the word feelings was ignored, wherein it was considered as you being gayish. It was considered you not being strong enough. So yes, a lot of men have from different cultural backgrounds have problem discussing feelings part. No, it's okay. You can ask the questions, but it's just that anybody who wants to leave can leave, inshallah. But if any question is not answered, be willing to rephrase it. So if I miss something, I can cover it up again. So, from my understanding, women can talk about boundaries. Women can talk about feelings. Now, will men get it immediately? Some will, some won't. There are some very emotionally intelligent men. They are. And not all women are good emotionally. Not all men are bad. That's what I would say on that part. Many people are, alhamdulillah. Sometimes we talk too much about only the bad marriages. There's a lot of good marriages in our communities as well, alhamdulillah. And women are able to talk about boundaries. I think they have to learn how to go about that conversation. I recently had, subhanallah, I read something about allowing a husband or things like that. And I see a wife can get, a normal wife can get a lot out of her husband if she knows how to. Okay. Yes, there will be those rare pieces, men that you can't do anything with, and they are most likely not even com compatible to have a relationship with anybody, not just this sister, but anybody, because that brother just lacks um whatever is needed to have a healthy marriage. But generally speaking, a woman, if you go to your partner in in a requesty way, in a little bit of feminine way, in a little bit of sexual way, and you try to get things out of him in that way, you most definitely in some things will get a better result. Now, some things he still might be no means no. And you have to weigh, does it matter so much to you? Not everything is a big battle. Some battles we make big battles for us. And if you are willing to give up for the sake of Allah, alhamdulillah, but you have to accept that you did it for the sake of Allah. You could have chosen to not, and you could have chosen to step out of marriage, but you chose to do that sacrifice for the sake of Allah. So I think that answers that. How can you communicate and be assertive without being accused of being a feminist? Big deal, big no, no for husband. I think, like I said, we have to, okay. Men like to be pampered, okay? Women, men like to be pampered. Men like, shh. Sorry, I'm shushing my cat away. So men like to be pampered. Men like to be treated like they're the kings, okay? Treat him like that and then get what you want. You don't have to be, you don't talk to your husband as you talk to your girlfriends. And men ideally should also learn that you can't talk to your wifey how you will talk to your male friends. But I am not a men's coach, I'm a women's coach. So I truly think um, we don't have to be assertive, teacher type, mom type with the husbands. No, 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 no. We have to treat them like, hey, love, right? Hey, I would really appreciate if you did it like this for me. But I'm fine if you want to do it like that. Like the tone, the whole thing has to be in a way that you have to make him think he decided it. And I didn't want to say it on YouTube. Now everybody heard it. But does it make sense? Does it make sense? Let me know if it made sense to you guys here. Uh, if it not, I'll try to elaborate a little bit more, but I think I gave it all. Um, any other questions? Yes or no? If no, then we will leave, inshallah. Going when? Going to. Do we have any questions? Yes, my dad has always said that to me and my sister that we can get what we want and make it think it was his idea. Yes, 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 yes. That's an art that I am myself trying to master. Um, yeah. Sometimes I think we have somewhere in the mix we have forgotten how to really communicate with men in a way that we can get things done without it being a very us against each other energy. Rather, it's together. Like if you paid attention to the talk today, nowhere it is about me. It's about the relationship. Because when you overgive, you harm the relationship. So even when you're choosing to not overgive, you're saving the relationship. It's still us. It's not about me. It's about I am learning my limitations so that I don't hurt our relationship by overgiving to the point that tomorrow I will get up and I will hold it up against you. That I did this for you, I did this for you, I did this for you. So my learning my limitations, my deciding that, hey, I can only do this much for the sake of Allah and for the sake of my love for my husband, I cannot go any further than this, is actually me protecting my relationship. It's not like I'm being selfish. So even as we speak to our partner, even as we address these things, we have to remember it's us. It's not him against me against him. It's us. These sessions are not meant to just help wives. These sessions are built, are created. I'm putting this energy out there. I'm doing all this work. I'm preparing for the workshops and all of these things because I want to save the marriages. These are Wednesday Wife Wisdoms for our Muslim community because I truly think women have the power to not just maintain marriages, but actually save marriages. I truly think our sisters got the superpower that they don't even recognize. So when our women learn how to, you know, deal with the guy, things over time, inshallah, will be much more peaceful in many relationships. And I pray that these sessions help the community. And I pray that more and more of the Muslim Ummah can have healthy marriages. Anything wrong that came out of my mouth was from me. Anything good that came was from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I highly encourage you guys, if you need help, please don't sit on it. Get the help necessary. I am always available. You can email me. We can book a session. It's not that complicated. If you find any of it beneficial, I will inshallah upload it on YouTube and you can share with other people too. And with that, I think we will end today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.